Okay. Hi, I'm Tim Shonalds. We're here at a farm I'm establishing called Stone Beach Farm, and I just brought back 2 packages of honeybees. So we're going to go install those and see how it goes. I got them from Vermont Beekeeper Supply. Mark and Sherry are great, and they did a little demonstration of how you do this. So I kind of just watched how to do it, and so we'll see how it goes. Let's go find out. Okay, so there we go. Here's 2 packages of bees that we're going to install into these hives today. And we'll see how it goes. I've never done this before. They seem happy. Put the bees kind of in the shade over here. So what we have is a regular beehive here that I've set up over the last few weeks here, and we're going to take out 4 frames, they say. And those are all new frames that the bees will work on once they establish themselves. They'll draw that wax out and make brood and make honey in there. So let's see what happens when we get one of these packages ready to go. So there's one package, a couple of stragglers on the outside, lots of activity in there. I'm going to set them down on top of this one. So I just brought these home from Williamstown, Vermont Beekeepers Supply. Wonderful couple named Mark and Sherry. They put on a great demonstration for how you do this. So Sherry carefully took off this little mini sheet of plywood. And I don't think much is going to happen yet because there's a can of syrup in there, kind of keeping it shut. Now, I'm going to kind of get those staples out of the way, and I'm going to be ready to slide that back over there. There's a little piece of tape here that's attached to the queen's cage. So the queen is there in her own little package. So I should just keep moving here before I stall out. I think about it too much. So the idea is to use your hive tool, this bright orange thing. Is just to get the can of syrup moving and get it up out of the way, and I'm just sort of jiggling. I'm caught on something, and it feels like it's got a lot of syrup in it. And then you just sort of, a couple bees get out. Don't try not to squash any. Whoa, that looks like a drone. He's a big one. So these bees were put on a trailer in Georgia, I think Wednesday, and driven straight to Vermont. And now it's Friday afternoon, so they've been in transit for a couple of days, but they're in great shape. I've been reading threads on the internet about how you'll get your package and there'll be a lot of bees, dead bees on the bottom. There are not very many dead bees on the bottom. It's great. So I'm going to try something here that I've seen done on videos, where you take the queen and you put her in your pocket just to keep track of her. When Sherry did this, the bees really were very interested in the queen and were really all over it. So if this scenario causes too many bees around me, I might change tactics. So we're going to just try to remove her. We're going to give it a little shake. Whoa! Oh my God. Whoa! So they're very docile. I'm not feeling threatened at all. There's a lot of bees though. Okay. I don't think that's going to work though. I'm feeling good. I don't think you're going to be able to see the queen in there because I'm too much of a wuss to get these bees off of there for you. But there's a queen inside that box, and then there's a white end here, and that's some kind of candy. So the idea is to hang the queen in there in her cage. All the workers remove the candy over the course of a few days and release the queen. That way they all get slowly acquainted with each other. So I'm going to go do that part of hanging her in in between some of the frames of the cage. So I feel really well prepared for this because Sherry was so calm and she did this barehanded like I'm doing. So I'm kind of proud of myself that I'm also doing it barehanded, even though I'm a brand new beekeeper and never done this before. Wow, there she is. So she's got a big blue dot on her. See, she's got a big blue dot on her. That's her. Oh yeah, that's gonna come right off. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of hang that from a thumbtack like that, and then get another thumbtack and hang it from a frame on top. So one thumbtack on the box, one thumbtack. I think I'm supposed to be down a little ways. Anyway, she's got plenty of room now. One thumbtack on there, one thumbtack on there. The bees will eat that candy out of there and let her go in a couple of days. It'll take them a little while. So, now comes the exciting part. We give this box a good thump on the ground to make them all fall to the bottom of the box. And then we just pour them in. They're just going to pour into this box. There's going to be a lot of bees in the air. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. Here we go. Good thump on the ground. Take the lid off and pour them in. Give it a couple more thumps. One that way. Kind of watching where I'm thumping just to make sure I don't squish anybody. They'll send out an alarm signal if I squish one. It causes problems. I think I need to just be a little more aggressive. Knock them bees around, pour them out. Isn't this exciting? I think so. Okay, I'm just going to put my box here in front of that hive. I'm going to start thinking about putting my frames back in. So get the bees to sort of move around. Get them sort of out of the way. And there's not as many as I thought. I thought there'd be a big pile of bees, but they're pretty well spread out already. So again, I don't feel threatened by these bees. I don't feel like I'm in trouble. I don't feel like anybody's like going for my face. So they're docile. What are known as Italian honeybees specifically. And I'm going to try to make room to get this last frame in here. Let's try to get this last frame in there. And then that's it. We're going to put a top on it. Settle down, ladies. And they get a little bonus, like remember this can was in there, so that's full of it's got sugar. You can see it dripping. So I made more sugar solution here that they get. So they get a little extra. I hide it inside here so that the wind can't knock it over or anything. So this part of the box is just empty except for the sugar thing. And we'll put a lid on it. And there's one down and we got one to go. So apparently all these bees that are in the air around me will find their way into this hive. And when I do this one, those bees will find their way into this hive. So we'll see how we do. Okay, we're going to do the second box right away here. That one seemed to go pretty well. It'd be different if I had gotten stung already, or if something had gone wrong, or I got really turned around. But we got one package installed, and we'll do another package real quick here. We'll just do this before we have a chance to. Oh, that happened a little differently. So we want that handy in a minute. You girls are happy to be out of that little box, aren't you? Okay, so I'm lifting out the syrup can, and I'm surrounded by bees from the other install because no bees from this one have gotten out yet. So I don't know what to think about that. Oops, I squashed a bee. Get out of the way, little girls. All right, I'm going to put this can away. I'm going to get the queen out of there, and I'm going to be ready to put her in between some frames here. Oops, except that's not working. This staple is just a little difficult to undo. Should have brought a screwdriver out. Anyway, there, got it. All right, now I'm going to give it another thump. The thump, we'll give that a shake. Watch out, little honeys. So here we go with our another marked queen. There she is with a blue dot on her back. So usually Mark and Sherry sell their queens unmarked, but you could pay an extra $5 to get a marked queen. And since new beekeepers often have a hard time locating their queen, which will be something I'm going to have to do in a few days, I thought it would be a good idea to go ahead and spring for marked queen. Oh, here's a good, come on in here. That's a drone. So see how much bigger he is? This guy, he's got big eyes, and he's about twice the size of the workers. That's him right there. They got such big eyes because they are looking for movement. They'll in a mating flight. So they'll zoom in on anything moving and try to mate with it and hope it's the queen. All right. So what I learned in the last one is I have to undo the staples to release this piece of plastic. I'm so glad Sherry showed me this. Otherwise, I'd be freaking out a little bit about bugs being all over me. But I feel fine. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to staple this on the side with one of my thumbtacks. What I'll do in a couple of days is open this up. I'll look for this queen with her blue dot on her and make sure she's released. And make sure everything's copacetic. I'm supposed to have, the screen is supposed to be to the front of the hive, and the candy plug towards the top. So there's the candy plug. Trying to get rid of these sharp staples. Candy plug towards the top, screen towards the front. I'm going to stick another thumbtack in. Oh, ouch. I wish I had little flat thumbtacks, but I don't. And now I'm just going to kind of squeeze that in there a little bit loosely. And there's the queen ready. So by keeping her in a cage, it's sort of, these bees aren't necessarily acclimated with her. So this way they slowly get acclimated. All right, we're going to do that again. We're going to give it a good thump on the ground. There's going to be even more bees in the air. And then we're just going to pour them right in. So here's the thump, and another thump, and we'll get rid of that, and we're just going to pour. And it is exactly like I'm pouring sawdust or something out of a box. And so that went better than the other one, did it? I probably shouldn't be thumping on the hive. I think that's about as good as I'm going to do, so I'm going to do the same thing, just set that in front and let them find their way out. I'm going to start putting frames back in. So this is the standard beehive. They call it the Langstroth hive, named after the guy who invented it like 100-something years ago. And it's designed to create bee space with these frames that give just enough room to build just the right amount of wax. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait on that last frame. I'm going to go ahead and put my top board on here like I did before. Everybody out of the way. And I'm going to put my syrup jar on top of that. I suppose I could just use the can that came with the package. And then this box goes on top of that just to get out of there. Go. That just protects that, keeps that from blowing off. All right, you're going to be stuck in there if you stay. Out. I'm like trying to save one bee. I'm like the quintessential brand new beekeeper who's trying to like save one bee. Get out. So when I picked these up down in Williamstown, there were some stragglers hanging on the outside of the package, and they just went in the car. I put the packages in the car and I drove away. And there's these bees, start flying around inside the car. And as I'm driving down their driveway, there's one more bee following down. I can see him in the mirror of my car. I'm thinking, oh, should I stop and try to catch that one little bee? I didn't. So sorry, little bee. Hopefully she'll find another hive to join. So these look good. There's not too many bees in the air right now. If you come around to the front, you can see a lot of bees on the front of the hive, on the entrance there. So they're kind of hanging out at the entrance, kind of figuring out that this is the entrance. And what they do at this point is start orientation flights. So they're just flying around, figuring out where the sun is in relation to where their hive is. And once they calm down a little bit, they'll probably go out and find a dandelion, or there's various things coming into bloom. I've got a couple of apple trees that are just going to pop in about a day or so, and they should be happy about that. All right, I think we're done. That went pretty well, I think. No stings, nobody got stung. Excellent.